Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Nothing to See Here podcast. Hi, it's Frankie.
It's Hannah.
Ooh, fuck. Sorry. Amanda.
Amanda is currently finishing up a round of Dead by Daylight, so.
I mean, apparently this is the only way we get her name.
Yeah, when she's distracted.
I'm very distracted. So I'm facing fucking Bubba with a chainsaw, and he's not the greatest Bubba in the world, but I'd like to get a few more gems working, because we've just been slow as fuck.
Okay, then. Well, we have a very unexciting episode coming to you. I hate to...
What are you talking about? It's very exciting. We have to talk about Wicked.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Wicked. I think this might be mostly Wicked discussion, because, fuck, I do not want to talk about this fucking Scooby-Doo movie we watched.
Well, you watched.
Yeah, Amanda didn't watch it all.
Amanda watched 10 minutes of it.
Hannah, did you watch it?
I unfortunately watched this.
Oh, thank God. Amanda called me right before this and she revealed that she didn't watch all of it. And then asked, was it you or Peanut Gallery who asked, what are you gonna do if Hannah didn't watch it? And I said I would be very angry if I was the only one who fucking watched this shit.
No, I suffered through this. I suffer for this art that is Nothing to See Here.
I want you to know, I know, you guys both know this, I don't know if I've revealed this in the show or not, I think I have, that I have a list of movies that I watch in a year.
Yes.
Of new
Very
movies.
Bottom?
No, second to the bottom.
What the hell is on the bottom?
Song of the South's on the bottom. Yeah.
That's fair.
Song of the South, bad and more racist than this movie. This movie, bad, less racist than Song of the South. Not completely non-racist, but...
It is, as I said last week, it is racist like you expect, but also not as racist as it could be.
Yeah,
I definitely thought it was gonna be more racist, I'll be honest.
I don't know what 10 minutes in is, but there's two things that really stand out as alright, well, this isn't great, but at least for me. We'll get to that then. Last week...
Can we talk about Wicked first?
Yeah, so last week Hannah wanted to talk about Wicked. Amanda had not yet seen it.
I was yelled at for trying to talk about Wicked.
Yeah,
Amanda saw it this morning.
I did, at 11 a.m.
So we're gonna talk about Wicked then for a little bit.
Welcome
to the untimely Wicked review.
Yeah. We're timely in that we're doing it kind of when it came out.
It's timely when we talk about it, untimely when we put it out.
Only 2 months late to the game, we finally saw Wicked, guys.
That would be when it comes direct to video then.
Yeah, you mean movies.
That's true.
No, that ain't coming out until June. Maybe that's just a saver, but the Amazon, if you pre-order it, says delivery estimate is June.
June. Yeah.
Ooh. I don't know. I feel like they put out DVDs really fast now.
I don't know. I feel like this will be in theaters for a while though, because it's going to make a ton of money.
Yeah, but I feel like after 2 months, some film companies start putting out DVDs, even if it is a popular film in theaters still.
I feel like they wait
Thanks
now,
to COVID.
though. I think they wait a little longer, though, to put it on their streaming services first to encourage people to buy that.
Yes.
And then they'll put the DVD out.
I don't know.
Well, still, it'll be when it hits streaming then.
That's fair.
I'm gonna throw this out here. They are making so much promotional shit for Wicked. I saw popcorn buckets at the AMC. I saw green and pink popcorn. I saw green and pink sodas. I got the green icy, which just tastes like the Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah, they've been doing that. They've been doing that for all of it. They did that one for Beetlejuice, and then they did that for Wild Robot, and now they're doing it for Wicked. They just changed the promotional material on the outside of the icy machine.
Yeah, it tastes awful. Well, I actually like it, but everybody else says it tastes awful.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah, Mom didn't like it either, but she didn't get a drink.
I have AMC A-List, so I've been going to a lot of movies, and AMC repeatedly has, they used to have one where it's just the generic silent your cell phones one, movie etiquette fit preview, and now it's a Wicked promotion.
I saw a Sonic one, and that was funny for Sonic 3.
I haven't seen that one.
They're making a fucking another Sonic movie.
This one has Shadow in it.
Yeah. Different. The last one had Knuckles.
They keep adding characters.
Well, Sonic the Hedgehog, the video games, if you play them in chronological order, they also just keep adding characters.
That's true.
I don't care enough. I'm
When's
sorry.
when's Amy coming? When's Vector coming? When's the big crocodile coming? That's what I want.
You got at least 3 more films.
Jim Carrey plays Dr. Robotnik and his father.
He does, but the problem with Jim Carrey came out of retirement for this movie.
I know.
That's how big Sonic is.
Yeah, it's huge.
Anyway,
First of all, I'm just gonna say this. Not the biggest Ariana Grande fan. And this actually hurts my soul to admit this.
I think the podcast all knows that. You've railed against Ariana Grande many times on the show.
I know I have.
You said she was gonna ruin another marriage this year.
You did. That was on your bingo card.
She didn't. So.
Yet.
I did go. Yeah.
Did you not check the TikTok I sent you?
Maybe we should talk about that first before I say anything too stupid. And people are like, wow, Amanda's being incredibly dumb today. So I have a concussion. According to Franklin, this is the funniest concussion.
It's not the funniest. It's the funniest I've ever heard of, but it's probably not the funniest concussion.
Here, can I give a concussion story to see if it's funnier than what Amanda has to tell you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
In high school, there was this kid who just got hit in the head by a basketball and was concussed.
That's not as funny.
That's not as funny, but I do think it is as stupid.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think Amanda's concussion was stupid.
I think it was smart given what I was avoiding.
It was just bad luck and bad timing and bad location.
I don't know if it's... Here's the thing, Amanda. You say it's pretty smart with what you were dodging, and in the moment, you're right. But now, with the consequences of the action, are you regretting the dodge?
Yeah, of course I regret the dodge.
Alright.
Now tell us what happened.
So, my cat Secret, if anybody has met Secret, he's a sneezy boy. He gets a lot of, like, little sinus issues and problems. He's an old man, so it happens. Whenever he sneezes, Frankie, how would you put this?
I don't know what you're trying to say. It's gross.
Snot all over the place.
Yeah, huge globs of
like
snot.
a fucking explosion.
Yeah. Frankie has bore witness to this and has dodged quite a few of them.
I've dodged all the ones that come at me. I've been hit. I got some on, like, a shoulder, but that's it.
It was, 3 a.m., and he had woken me up. Normally when he wakes me up, it's because he wants attention, or he wants to tell me that Fang's gonna hop on the bed, and Fang wants attention, because Fang's a little scared of people. Anyway, he hopped up, so I started petting him, and then all of a sudden, he rears back to sneeze, and I could just, I knew it was gonna be a big one, so I recoiled back, and I don't have a headboard on my bed. That's going to change. But I hit my head against the wall, dodging his sneeze. When I say hit my head, I mean I'm surprised there's not a dent in the wall. It was just kind of like a knee-jerk reaction, you know? You ever banged your elbow into something? It's kind of like that. Hence the concussion. So I am currently concussed.
So it's a warning for anything that might be said.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I dropped butter in the kitchen floor.
Please don't. No, go ahead. No, you might as well.
I dropped butter on the kitchen floor, and she said, "Oh, you dropped butter." And I said, "Yeah, that was an accident." She goes, "You don't want to do that in prison. They say it's a bad thing to do in prison." I said, "I thought that was dropping the soap." And she went, "Oh, yeah, it is. Never mind."
Alright then.
I've just been having a lot of brain fog lately.
Well then, back with
Back to
Ariana Grande. How do we?
All right.
You're about to compliment Ariana Grande.
I am. How did you know I was going to compliment her?
Because you were, it was against your better judgment, and
Oh, that stuff. Yeah.
your lead up made it seem like you're going to compliment him.
Despite me not really being a big fan of hers, I think her licking that donut was really fucked up. A bunch of donuts. You guys don't remember the scandal?
I
where
remember
she
the
went-
donut.
Oh, the store and she,
Yeah.
okay.
She like licked all the
And then
the
people
donut.
started licking ice cream and all kinds
Yeah,
of shit.
she started that bullshit. She was really fucking good. It was like this role was made for her, and that sucks to say. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed watching her.
It was really, really good.
I always forget she is a theater kid at heart and began her career on Broadway.
Yeah, in 13, I believe, right?
Yes.
So
She
that,
could have been a little
that
more
was-
unhinged. I like my Galindas to be unhinged like me.
I think,
She had some very unhinged moments in it.
yeah,
She did, but it could have been a little more.
I don't know, what was it, the hair twirls? There was a lot of things. I think she did very well bringing Glinda to the screen, especially to audiences who aren't really musical fans. Like, I guarantee you there are a ton of guys who were dragged here because their girlfriends love musicals, and they were like, yeah, wasn't bad. Cynthia Erivo, 10 out of 10, 5
Killed
stars.
it.
Yeah, killed everything she was given. So that was dope. Jonathan Bailey, as my mother puts it, he looks so much better without the sideburns.
Yeah.
Richard and Fredericton.
Yeah. Now that the sideburns are gone, he looks even more beautiful.
He was awesome. The Dancing Through Life choreography.
My favorite number in the whole film.
Yeah, it was super cool.
That was impressive.
Yeah. I really kind of want those rotating bookcases. I'm not gonna lie.
Same.
You would injure yourself so badly.
Shut up, Frankie.
Oh, you would.
Shut.
Talk about concussions. You'd have one every day.
You would get so hurt doing that. It'd be, oh my god.
I just want the bookcase. I wasn't gonna do half of the shit that they did.
Yeah,
Yes, you
but
would have.
I'm saying you would try it the first time and hurt yourself. And then,
No, I wouldn't try it the first time.
And
I'd
then-
just use it to get books.
but you would hurt yourself getting the books.
No.
You know, eventually you would try to do one of the dance moves and then fall flat on your face.
No.
You would hurt
No.
yourself getting the books. You would hurt
She
yourself
would
getting the
just
books.
hurt herself getting a book. Let's be honest.
What's her namey from, cause it starts with a K, but what's her namey from The Greatest Showman was in it? And I was real bummed out that she played not the greatest person.
Who did she play?
Um,
You don't remember the
She-
character name?
The teacher?
she was kind of like the teacher. She was the one who told Alphaba to sit the fuck down when Dr. Dilliman was escorted out.
Oh, the headmistress.
Yeah, her. Yeah.
Kiala Settle.
Yeah, her. I love her. I'm glad she was in it. I want to see her in more things. Would have loved to heard her voice more. I think her voice is beautiful. But I was real bummed out that she was playing a kind of a dick. Peter Dinklage. I completely forgot that he played Dr. Dilliman. I was like, wow, that's a really cool goat that they got playing Dr. Dilliman.
I forgot that it was Peter Dinklage too when I saw it, and my girlfriend had to remind me because I saw the name on the credits. I was like, who is he?
Yeah. So that was Bowen Yang made my day. He's fucking hilarious. I love him so much. I love him on SNL. I feel like he wasn't even like, he didn't even audition. I feel like they were just like, hey, do you think you could play like Galinda's followers like really well? And he's like, yeah, I can do that. Michelle Yeoh, oh,
She's beautiful.
she is gorgeous.
Why does she have to be an evil person?
I don't care if she's
gorgeous.
evil. She is beautiful. And Jeff Goldblum was a great douchebag. I love Jeff Goldblum.
You know what? He would probably hear your review of he was a great douchebag and have that printed somewhere.
I know he would. I love Jeff Goldblum. Truly I do. I really like him in a lot of stuff.
Did you guys see the TikTok where there was a guy who worked on the Wicked film, and he was basically in charge of knowing all the Wicked lore, and Jeff Goldblum came to him and he said, I think the wizard has a secret twin who actually is magical. And Jeff Goldblum basically wrote Wicked fanfic of the wizard as his backstory.
Oh my
That's
god.
hilarious.
I will have to find it and I will send it to you guys because it was hilarious.
So I mean, it was beautifully done. For a 3-hour movie, it didn't feel like 3 hours. Oppenheimer felt fucking forever. This felt great. I will say, I don't know if I missed the sign in the theater, but, or going into the theater, I was expecting a lot of people to be singing, and nobody was singing, thankfully.
Oh, I was so happy.
I was so glad. I was like, please, nobody wants to hear anybody else sing. I just want to hear Cynthia Erivo sing.
Yeah,
I
no one sang
want to
in
go
mine.
again, and I would go to a sing-along, though.
I would not go to a sing-along. I would do a sing-along at my house with people that I love and care about, so when their bad singing comes out, I'd be like, oh, okay, it's fine, because I love them. I don't love the rest of the world. And the rest of the world, a lot of people are tone deaf and don't recognize that they're tone deaf.
It's me. I'm the rest of the world.
I was
I'm
actually,
tone deaf. I know I'm tone deaf.
yeah, I was actually referring to my mother, but she does know that she's tone deaf.
I know I can't sing. I can't hold a tune in a bucket.
And Hannah, I've done karaoke with you, and you haven't pissed me off, so you can at least hold a tune, so.
That was one time.
Yeah, but you didn't piss me off. We did it for like 3 hours.
I sang like once.
You sang like 5 times. Don't quote me on things right now. Anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie, and I'm real pissed off that it's not coming out at least summer of next year.
Wicked Part 2? Yeah, of course
Yeah.
it's not.
No, they're waiting a full year.
Yeah.
Of course they are. Saw a trailer for Epic Universe though. That looks dope. Real excited for that one. Does anybody else have any comments on Wicked?
I did. I don't know. I liked it. I thought, like you said, Amanda, all the acting performances were phenomenal. I
Oh,
think it was
wait,
a bad
real
actor.
quick.
So.
Wait, real quick. Man, after Ethan, his name's Ethan, right?
Ethan
I
Slater.
guess so. I don't know. SpongeBob.
Yeah. I thought his name was Ethan. Man, after, like, I remember seeing him in SpongeBob and thinking, oh, he's kind of like a nerdy, dorky kind of thing. Works out. I fucking hated his hair in this movie. I know I was probably supposed to hate his hair. I don't know. It just,
I don't know if they had a thought about how you were supposed to feel about his hair.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it, and I also just got a weird, creepy vibe from him. And I think.
Well, I mean, he's not the best character.
Yeah, and I know that is part of the musical, but like after knowing what I know and know that he like left his wife and his newborn kid for somebody, like he just let somebody kind of wreck his home. I really was hating him. I think more than anything.
Really
Yeah.
character acting, Bach, huh?
Yeah.
Fantastic work.
He was weird. He was weird for me.
But I liked all the performances. I don't think anyone was bad acting wise.
No.
The music was all really good. Obviously, it's the Wicked music, but they made some changes to some of the songs and did some fun things, and it was all pretty good. They didn't add any new songs. They extended some stuff, and added segments to songs, but.
Wait, we need to talk about Adina and.
That's the part that was added, yeah.
Yeah, and Christian Time, like, we need to talk. Like, I was so excited to see them. As the
Did
wise
you know
ones
they were in
too?
the film?
I didn't.
Oh, okay, because I got their cameos spoiled.
I didn't know they were in the film either.
I figured they were going to be, like a cameo. Like, I did figure that. I wasn't expecting it to be in the first part. And I definitely wasn't expecting
I figured it would be in the first part. Them in the second part wouldn't fit.
Yeah, knowing Wicked, the first part's all the fun, and then
the second part is there's no time for fun in the second part.
No.
I saw somebody, like, I saw on some Tumblr somebody was like, if they were cameos or ideas for cameos for Adina and Kristen. Like, I saw one where it was like, one of them could play like Dorothy's Aunt M.
Why? What?
No.
Why are we bringing Aunt M into Wicked?
I don't know. Okay, because people thought, based on the trailer, and I think other people have kind of noted this, it seems like they're expanding the lore based on not only the musical, but the book that the musical is based off of. Read that series. It's a great series. I also
Don't give it to your children, though.
No, give it to your children. It's fine.
No, don't give it to your children.
What are you talking about? I was fine. I talked about this already.
Don't give it to your children.
Give it to your children.
Don't
I
give it
got
to your
that
children.
book when I was young.
Yeah, you got it when you were too young.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
No.
did.
No, shut up.
We're all agreeing on this, Amanda. So don't give it to your children.
Give it to your children.
All right. Don't.
The Another Days series is also good too. Apparently he's coming out with Elfie the Child Years in 2025, so that's cool. But people think that like they're expanding upon like the lore from the books a little
It
bit
still doesn't
more
explain
towards,
Aunt M. Is Aunt M in the books?
towards
No.
Dorothy. No.
Yeah, so why would Aunt M be there? No one cares about Dorothy and Wicked.
I know
Don't need
no one
Dorothy.
cares, but I just think there are so many cool ideas that they could have thrown like them into cameos with. So
No.
I was like,
I think
really,
their cameos were perfect.
yeah, no, they're great, and I'm happy with what they did. I'm just saying,
They could have done more.
no, shut up. That's not what I'm saying. You guys are confusing me, and I'm gonna leave.
Amanda, I don't think you know where you were going when you started your sentence.
I did know where I was going. Shut up. I'm saying that I saw so many different things, like so many different Tumblr posts, so many different like Instagram tweets of, oh, wouldn't it be cool if they did this or they did this for cameos? And none of them hit the same way that this cameo did, with them being the wise ones. And I think that's hilarious, and the fact that they were fighting over the spotlight was fucking hilarious as well.
Okay, so she did have a point to make. We should apologize.
Yes.
But it was the same point I made. That
No,
nothing would have been. Yes, because I said that their cameo was perfect for them.
Yeah, I did.
It was the same point I made.
Don't go into as much detail.
Yeah, but you didn't do the thingy that I just did.
Well, you're gonna get mad in a minute, so
Why?
I'm gonna listen. I have honest thoughts. All the performances were great. Like I said, music, fantastic. All right, love the movie.
Do you have something to say
Or
about
like-
the choreography?
Like the movie. No, I can't really criticize choreography that much because like I can't dance that well, and so like unless it's
I'm
truly,
just gonna come after you.
unless the choreography is truly uninspired, I really can't do anything like come after that.
He slid on a book. He surfed on a book.
That
Yeah.
choreography was
Several
great.
books.
I like the choreography, especially for Dancing Through Life. I'm just
No
saying,
one's
it's like,
coming for Jonathan Bailey in this
Yeah.
moment,
Nobody
Amanda.
better.
Yeah.
I will.
and like I said, all the
fight
acting was great. I think that, and John Chu said this was a deliberate choice, and his deliberate choice was, I think, wrong. He was incorrect. Oz should have been more colorful, like brighter colors. It was like a little muted, and he said he wanted it to be muted to be realistic, but it's
Right.
fucking Oz. Why is Oz
Crazy.
being realistic?
Yeah, it was amazing. Frankie, you're colorblind.
I understand that. I understand that, but like John Chu, the director, has come out and said he muted the colors purposefully.
I thought the colors were fabulous.
Yeah, I did too.
So it was a little muted. I think some of the audio mixing was off in some of the songs. Like it was hard to hear some of the singing in some compared to the music part of it, the vocals compared to the music. So that's just a technical aspect. Like Amanda said, this was almost a 3-hour movie. It didn't feel like it at all. My only problem is then this is very clearly a part 1 and not a fucking full story. So I sat there for 3 hours and got half a story.
Really? That's your
Yeah.
complaint?
Oh my god!
That is my complaint. When I see a movie,
Phenomenal.
but when I see a movie, I don't want
two parts and have it be phenomenal than
no,
have
but it's not
one really-
phenomenal
Let me
if
talk.
it doesn't tell a full story. Because here's the thing, this movie is great, but now it is entirely dependent on how well they execute part 2. And if they don't execute part 2 well, this is going to get worse. Because this is the build up, and if it falls flat on its face, it won't be looked at as well as people are seeing it now. And I don't think it's gonna fall flat on its face. Although there is some worry because they said they're adding songs in part 2. So like, how much are they changing? What are they changing? I don't think it'll be that bad because it's still Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande leading it. So it's still gonna be fine and Jonathan Bailey. It's still gonna be fine from those three.
And like they're
pulling the
not
reins.
cutting any songs, and I think that's where
But-
people get real pissed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about like the whole, like, I haven't seen the musical in a long time. I saw a bootleg like years ago, but so I don't know if they did cut anything, I probably wouldn't have noticed, but, and I wouldn't be bothered with that because I think if you're doing a movie version of something, just copying the stage version isn't what, like, sometimes they do that and it sucks because that's not what you should do when you're doing a movie version of something. Like, I really love that the fact that during the Defying Gravity scene, when Cynthia Erivo is falling and she looks into the tower and sees her reflection and it changes to her as a child. It's a really cool thing that you obviously can't do on stage.
Right.
And so, but I don't like that it's only part one of the story and it was that long. Like, I felt like they could have done the whole story if they really wanted to.
They wouldn't have done it justice.
Yeah.
I think they would have done it justice. I think they could have done a 3-hour movie, hit 3 hours even, and done the whole thing, and it would have been fine.
Hannah?
I think this handicaps the story, and I'll say why. Have you guys seen Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes.
The sequel?
No.
No.
You didn't see the sequel? Okay.
Wait,
I didn't see either.
The first one, I saw the first one and then I saw the one after it, which is, and it probably is the sequel now that I'm thinking about it, but I also can't.
Because Enter the Spider-Verse is the first one, right?
Right.
And then it's Into the Spider-Verse.
Is that the one with, like, the punk rock Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched that one.
So Into the Spider-Verse is also part one of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But when they went into writing that movie, they knew it was going to be a part one. So even though there is a bit of like, oh, we're building towards a sequel, and we're obviously building towards a sequel, they obviously told a full story, beginning, middle, end. The storytelling path, I don't know how to word it, but how you tell a story. It has all the elements of a standalone story and leaves some opening for more to be told. Because they knew it was going to be a part one when it was written. Obviously, when Wicked was written in a stage production.
But it was from a book to begin with.
But a book is different. Books. No. That's a very good point. Books can do this differently, I think, than a movie or a live theater experience. If you're reading a book, but the Wicked book, even if it is from a book, the Wicked book tells a complete story. Obviously, there is room that they add. There's sequels to the book. But the Wicked book, if you read the first book on its own, you get a complete story.
Mm-hmm.
When you see the stage production, you get a complete story. And that's what they're adapting from. They're adapting from a book and a musical that are complete stories when you see them. And they're written and set out to be a complete story when you see it, when you read it. Because they're adapting from something that is a complete story, they're just taking half, and you're seeing half, and that half is amazing. But it's still just half of a story. And if the first half is amazing and the second half is mediocre, is the whole story great?
Yes.
And I'm left wanting because I don't know how the story is going to end. I do know how it's going to end because I know the fucking ending. But, like, you don't know how the story is going to end. And so that's the problem I have with a lot of these part one movies that started because of Harry Potter, where they're adapting something that was never meant to be split in half.
I would agree with you on a lot of the different part movies, right? I get why they did it with Harry Potter. I think they did maybe not the greatest job with the Harry Potter parts. I still love the movies though, because I'm a big Potter head. But I think the thing that's different here, the musical is great. And if they took the musical, which in itself I think is like 3 hours, if they took everything and put it into that 3-hour movie slot in the musical, that would be great and everything, but I don't think we'd get like the richness and I fucking hated Glinda at the beginning of it, and you're supposed to. Whenever I watched the musical, I didn't hate her that much. I think I hated her here more because they built off of things, right? We saw Elphaba's childhood a little bit. We saw, like, the history of animals and how animals were part of Oz before the wizard came in. We basically saw the lore of how Oz came to be, right, in that fun little cameo section. I think all of that builds that story up more, and I think it makes it better than just having the musical come out. Because again, if they just took the musical stuff and granted it's not like a live production, and they just moved everything and were like, we're gonna keep most of the things the same, obviously we're gonna shoot them in different locations, we're gonna make like the sets and everything, blah, 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 blah. I don't think it would feel as right. I think part of the reason why Hamilton succeeded when it was released was because they didn't try and like adapt it into a movie or anything. They literally just filmed the stage version. So if they wanted to do that with this musical, they could have done that. But they didn't. They were like, no, we're going to make this into a movie. Why? Because it needs to be made into a movie. Because there's a lot more to tell that the musical doesn't get to tell.
I think that's great, and I agree that it should be told and be a movie. But I think that I guess if you had, I don't want to say better, because I think the writing is good, and I will say better for director. But if you had a better technical team and creative team, I think they could have done this story justice and had the same beats that they wanted to, and the same hatred for characters and same character development if they did, say, a 3-hour, 15-minute movie and told the whole story.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. Hannah, what are your thoughts as our resident musical person? Well, I'm also a resident musical person, but
Here's the thing. Wicked, the stage production, has been on Broadway for 20 plus years at this point. Fans of the show have been asking for a movie adaptation for almost as long. I think had they just filmed, like, almost stage to screen a movie adaptation of the musical, I don't know if it would have been as good if they just filmed the stage musical. Oh, that makes no sense. Let me rephrase that. I think by breaking it up, I think that was the right choice. I don't think the story would have hit the same way it does when you see the musical live on stage if it was exactly the same thing, only set to the screen. I think theater and film are two different mediums. And think back to the Tony Awards with Eddie Redmayne's performance of Cabaret. People were so unsettled by it, but I think the issue is he was acting for the stage and not for screen. He was so over the top where the people in the back of the theater can see him emote, whereas on screen you don't have to emote as hard. I don't think I'm making any sense right now.
no, you made perfect sense.
Point.
Yeah.
I completely agree with what you said 100%.
Even concussed, I was following you.
Okay. You put me on the spot here, and I'm like, listen, I do not have a detailed explanation on do I think this film works the way it does or not. I don't have a full explanation for that, okay? I need to sit and craft that argument for at least one business day. So I think part 1 and part 2 makes the most sense.
I also think I think people would have fucking rioted if it wasn't as good and up to, like, if they didn't split it up into a part 2. Like, fans have been waiting for this movie for fucking ever. If they literally just recorded the musical and, like, released it, people would be like, really? It's been 20 fucking years.
I don't think people would be mad if they just released a pro shoot of the film.
Yeah. And I also,
since they did a blockbuster movie adaptation, if they had just released a pro shoot of the film and like, here's your blockbuster adaptation, that's a whole issue in and of itself.
Right. So I think this was the perfect choice. I think this was the best choice that they could make, given all of the stuff that isn't Wicked. As somebody who has read the books, like, they could have touched on a whole lot more shit, right?
I don't think people realize how political Wicked is if they just kind of know the stage show. But this adaptation, they said, no. Let's get into that. Let's explore that more, like the book does.
It's about propaganda, the effects of propaganda and like terrorism and rebel acts, and like it's it's a really powerful novel. And as a kid, I will admit I didn't really get that, but going back and rereading it each time as I got older, like, those are more poignant things. Those are things that we actually see in our world today. And the thing that I really appreciate about the Wicked book is, just like the chill nature of like same-sex marriages in Oz. Like, and just same-sexness and like non-heteronormativity in general. Like, it was revolutionary when it came out.
Yeah.
In
Yes,
1998. Like, that was fucking fantastic. The fact that, like, Elphaba's mom was fucking some guy and then Elphaba's dad fucked the same guy, I was like, dope. Like, that's cool. The whole world was beautifully crafted. And I think we're seeing that. Because the musical, not that the musical isn't awesome, because it is, obviously. We wouldn't be seeing a movie because of it.
It wouldn't be on Broadway for over 20 years.
Right. But there's only so much that you can put into a musical, right? Because I'm only gonna go to a theater for like 4 hours maximum to see a musical. If it's any longer, I think I might kill some theater goers.
I would never see the Harry Potter play because you have to go buy separate tickets to see the full show.
I think
Fuck
I do. Yeah, I think I do. I do it like, I'll go once this month and once the next month.
I would just never do it because I don't know if I have the energy for all of that.
But yeah, I forgot where I was. But yeah, that was a good movie. It was a great movie. Do we want to talk about the really bad movie that Amanda did not
watch? No, because I have one issue with the Wicked film that I haven't talked about yet.
Oh, what's your issue?
This is a controversial opinion. I know it is.
Oh no.
I know this is a hot take. I know if this makes it to the theater community, I'm gonna get flack for this.
I'll post this on Reddit immediately.
Oh god, okay.
As soon as the episode comes out.
Defying Gravity should not have been made into a 14-minute scene.
No, you're wrong.
No. I think, here's the thing. I think it could have been expanded a little bit. But when Cynthia Erivo started singing, and she was building up to the big finish, and she's free-falling from the tower.
And the limited part comes in.
Her falling for that long and seeing her younger self killed the momentum and build-up of the song.
No.
But that wasn't about the song. That was
but that is me as a theater fan, and I think it killed the momentum of the song. I know they switched it for a theatrical film moment, but I think it kills the momentum of Defying Gravity.
I think the momentum in Defying Gravity was lost. I will agree with you there, but I don't think that's the point where it was lost.
Okay.
I think it was lost whenever she starts riffing into, right towards the end, the limited part, like, comes in. I'm like, we didn't need to hear that part again. Do you
But you agree with my core point that the momentum of that song is...
I think the momentum is off. I still think it's great. And I still think they got the ending part, like, the ending shot, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Gave me chills. Right. Her, like, zooming off on a broom and everything. Dope.
I'm not saying she did a bad job at the song. No, she fucking killed it.
And I know that's not what you're
saying. I know, but I want before the theater Reddit gets to me.
I think here we can all agree that Cynthia Erivo is a goddess, and we love her.
Give her that Oscar. Make her the youngest EGOT winner or youngest, ever, or just for a black person. I don't remember which one, but give her frickin' Oscar and give her an EGOT.
How old is Cynthia Erivo? Do we know?
I think she's in her 30s. I don't know her exact age.
Early 30s, I believe.
But if she gets an Oscar
EGOT winner is Robert Lopez at 39.
I think she's younger than him. I think she's got
quite
a few years, yeah.
I think she's like 33.
At most. But yes, I think the momentum of Defying Gravity is lost in the film adaptation.
Cynthia Erivo is 37.
Oh.
I was wrong.
Okay.
She's gonna win it this year or next year.
Yeah.
Oh wait, when the Oscars come out, she'll be 38, so she's got to win it this year because she's born January 8th.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, give her Oscar.
Oh man, she was only
Oscar.
2 days after me. Oh, that's kind of cool. No, I do think the momentum was lost a little bit. I don't think it was in that specific scene. I think it was later, towards the end, where it got lost a little bit. But I will agree with your hot take, Franklin.
Oh, what about her hot take?
Yeah.
My hot take I think the momentum is lost.
I don't know. I thought the song had momentum the whole way through. I like that it was a big building 14-minute scene.
See, I think it was too long. I think it was so spread out that overall the momentum was not the same.
I like the spread out because then when it does hit for a long time at the end, when it ends on it and it's been going for a while,
it didn't hit the same for me.
It carries the momentum there. I think that also feeds into my issue of it being a part one because I felt the momentum and then it just fucking stops immediately. I was like, oh, all right, okay.
Well,
the credits are coming. All right. Oh, okay.
I think I like the 14 minutes scene too. I like the build up and everything. I think the only part where the momentum was lost was when that limited part came in again. That didn't need to be there, where they extended it just that little bit. I think it was only like 10 seconds, maybe 12, but that's where it killed it for me. I think the falling scene was actually great, and I think that added to the momentum.
To be fair, I saw this film last week, so my memory is a little hazy of all the fine details of the scene. I'd have to rewatch the scene again to pinpoint exact moments.
I also saw it last week, so.
I saw it this morning.
Oh no, I saw it 2 weeks ago. Never mind. I saw it on Black Friday. What a mistake that was. Fuck that.
Was it?
I mean, the theater was pretty good. Like, the audience was pretty good. There was no singing. It was just, like, way more crowded than I'm used to.
People go to theaters on Black Friday? I thought they shop.
Families go to the theaters on Black Friday.
Families are gross.
I think there should be children-free screenings of Wicked.
Oh, there should be children-free screenings of every movie.
Even Disney movies.
Yes! Yes! I want to see... I like seeing some cartoons, animated movies. And then kids show up and I'm like, oh my fucking god.
Frankie, I want to go see Moana 2. Will you take me?
I don't know. I have to see how I feel about seeing Moana 2. I gotta picture it in my mind. What kind
of response is that? Yes, Amanda, you're my best friend. Of course I'll go with you.
I don't know if I want to see Moana 2.
Yes, Amanda, you're my best friend. I'll do something I don't want to do just because you're my best friend.
I gotta figure out. I do a lot of things I don't want to do. I've seen 2 K-pop concert movies this year.
You actually enjoyed some of them.
I enjoyed moments of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Amanda, I'd love to see Moana too.
It's fine. I'll get him back with this next thing. I also want to see Mufasa, but Mom is gonna go see that with me. I want to see it because Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote the songs.
What did you say you'll get me back for? Because what did that get me back with? You'll get me back. You'll get me back in by saying you'll get me back in by saying you want to see a movie.
No, that's not where I'm
I want to see less than Moana 2.
Hold on. I'm coming in with a hard hitter here. Frankie, we, on this podcast.
Yeah.
I've bought you your Christmas present live on this podcast.
You did. You bought me my Christmas present live on the podcast.
I also failed to mention that part of your Christmas present is you get one thing of merch of any kind that you want.
One thing? Oh, that's hard.
Yeah.
And yet he won't.
And yet,
your best friend.
And he won't as my best friend.
The issue with Moana 2, is that it came out now, and I have like holiday obligations with the family. So if it's still out,
to go tomorrow.
I'm not telling you you have to go now.
I get that. I'm just saying I have the holiday obligations. So if it's still out, like in the middle of January,
the middle of January,
you can go see it.
The beginning of January is your birthday. Doesn't he have an obligation to you then?
I know, right?
Yeah, the beginning of January is your birthday.
Yeah.
You don't
not the middle
anymore, Amanda.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What if I wanted to see that for my birthday, huh?
Then we can go see it.
Okay.
That's what you want to do for your birthday?
I don't know. I think I might want to do, I talked about this before, but we just mentioned karaoke. I think I might want to get a karaoke booth from Cobra. Obviously, Hannah and Katie Frankie.
I was going to say, I'm going to be there singing Pink Pony Club, whether you like it or not.
Pink Pony
Anna
Club.
just shows up.
Pink Pony Club is Chapel Roan.
All right,
You sing the only dancers like Conan Gray. It's okay.
we are
Oh,
50 minutes
Can I
in,
really
so
sing at your party? You know how badly I sing.
I do. Anyway.
we are 50 minutes in, so we should probably.
Yeah, we should probably hit this.
This episode is in the Scooby-Doo playlist. Believe it or not.
Amanda didn't watch the whole thing. She watched 10 minutes of it.
I don't blame her.
I did watch 10 minutes of it. I actually texted you guys one of the reasons why I watched only 10 minutes of it. If somebody would like
concussion.
I think it was actually making my concussion worse. And I think the thing that really threw me off the most was the animation style.
It was bad.
Like, it wasn't even like Pup Named Scooby-Doo animation style, like different. Like it was trying to be the same, but just like slightly off. So it just made me feel like I was like crazy.
Alright. Well, let's learn about this, shall we?
I don't wanna, but okay.
So Scooby-Doo in Arabian Nights aired on September 3rd, 1994, under the title of just Arabian Nights. Scooby-Doo was added to the title when they sold it on VHS to try and sell more copies.
And I was one of those unfortunate children who had a copy.
It is, that's rough.
I had a VHS of this, and I would watch it, and I'd be like, I don't remember this film, and then it would start playing, and be like, oh, I remember this, and then like 6 months later, I'd be like, hey, maybe it's an actual Scooby-Doo film now, and not whatever the fuck it was before.
No, it didn't
Hey,
change.
guess what? It wasn't magic.
This is an adaptation of the Book of 1001 Nights, and features appearances by Scooby-Doo and Shaggy in wraparound segments, so they're barely in the movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is loosely based, I would say.
Yeah. Bulk of this is devoted to two tales, one featuring Yogi Bear and Boo Boo Bear, and the other starring Magilla Gorilla. This would be the last film that Don Messick will voice Scooby-Doo. So say goodbye to Don Messick as Scooby.
Why? What happened to him? Did he die?
He would die in 1997 of cancer, I think.
So I think that's yes, he died.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the last official thing he did as Scooby is the Sega Genesis and NES game Scooby-Doo Mystery. He voiced Scooby for that game, but that's the last time he voiced Scooby, and this is the last film that he would voice Scooby, and the last time he would voice Boo Boo Bear.
He was Boo Boo. I didn't know that one.
And this is the very last Scooby-Doo movie production to be fully produced by Hanna-Barbera Cartoons. After this, Warner Brothers would become involved in all future productions before they ultimately took over completely with, I can't remember the name of the movie. I didn't write it down. The Scooby-Doo Vampire one.
Legend of the Vampire.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire is when they fully become, it's just Warner Brothers.
I will say, I think getting the Warners involved, Yakko, Wacko, and Dot, I think getting them involved actually really boosted the movies.
Yeah. Man, if they were in any of the fucking movies, it would have been so much better.
Yeah.
So the cast, Casey Kasem is back as Shaggy, Don Messick, as I said, and the last time as Scooby-Doo and Boo Boo. Eddie Dezen as the Caliph.
Eddie Dezen?
What? No,
Yeah.
alright. He would, you're disrespecting this actor who would go on to voice Mandark in Dexter's Lab, and more importantly, the know-it-all kid in Polar Express, and you're gonna disrespect him?
You know what? He probably made this joke himself.
Disgusting, Amanda. Absolutely.
Does that little kid have a name?
No, he's literally listed as the know-it-all kid. He does not have a name in the movie.
I'm so glad I made that joke now.
Greg
now
Burson
I
voices.
know that it's the know-it-all kid from Polar Express and everybody fucking hated it.
It was a good These Nuts joke. I will
Yeah.
give you a high five for that.
Greg Burson voices Yogi Bear. Chari Adler plays the pirate captain, who also played, people might know him as Buster Bunny from Tiny Toon Adventures. Brian
I remember
Cummings.
Tiny Toon Adventures. Do you guys remember the really upsetting one where they all, like, died drunk driving?
No, I don't remember.
I didn't watch the show.
Brian Cummings as the Sultan.
I learned all of the 50 states when I was little from Buster Bunny.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
They have a thing where they rattle off all 50 states.
I learned the countries of the world according to Yakko by Yakko's
Oh my god.
World.
Alright. Well, Brian Cummings as the Sultan. Jennifer Hale as Aaliyah Din, who Jennifer Hale has done so much fucking shit. Everyone knows who Jennifer Hale is. If you don't know who Jennifer Hale is as a voice actress, just look up anything that has voice actors. She's in it. She'll be back though on our Scooby-Doo adventure as Thorn in the Hex Girls. John Kassir as Haman. Rob Paulson is back as the Prince. Paul Eiding as the Scribe. Tony J as the Lord of the Amulet. Alvin Melvin as Magilla Gorilla. Maurice LaMarche as M. Cyclops, who is better known as the Brain from Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah.
And Frank Welker voices the Robot Dragon and the baby Rockbird in this horrible, horrible movie. This has a 5.3 out of 10 on IMDb. Way too high.
Way too high.
Way too high.
Yeah.
It should have 0.3.
I can't wait to see where you guys rank this one.
Normally, I would start with the positive review.
No.
When we do the IMDb reviews.
I don't want it.
There are no 10-star reviews.
Good.
There was not a single one on IMDb. So.
What's the highest one that you found?
I didn't look. I just did 10-star and it wasn't there, so we're not doing it.
Okay.
The 1-star review was left on June 7th, 2022 by a jealous, unwatchable Aladdin ripoff. There are a lot of excellent Scooby movies, but this is a plagiarized Disney Aladdin film blended with Bugs Bunny. No mystery machine, no gang, no mystery to be solved. Steaming pile, hot mess. I couldn't watch it all because I'd seen it before. Unimaginative waste of a half hour. So this person lasted a little longer than Amanda before they gave up.
My question is, when did Aladdin come out?
1992. So yeah,
when did
this
this
came
come out?
1994.
Oh, okay.
Listen, Aaliyah Din, the story of Aaliyah Din, is literally just gender bent Aladdin.
Yeah, I know.
There's nothing original there. I'm not gonna do details on this. There was nothing funny in this entire thing. I didn't laugh one time. This was a destruction of Scooby-Doo, Yogi Bear, and Magilla Gorilla. They fucking wiped out 3 cartoons in 1 hour. That's impressive, to be fair. That is very impressive. I didn't think Hanna-Barbera had it in them to destroy 3 of their iconic cartoon characters and franchises in only an hour. So good job, guys.
I'm honestly, after that first 10 minutes, I'm surprised that Scooby-Doo got another series or movie or any.
I literally ended my when I was taking notes, my last note is, Shaggy and Scooby say, the story ends with them being hired as the royal storytellers, and they say there'll be royal storytellers and food tasters, and the Caliph agrees. And then we had no more Scooby-Doo, as this was so bad it killed the entire franchise.
Yeah, it did.
Listen, the story is that Shaggy and Scooby are applying to be the royal food testers for the Caliph.
Who's a white dude.
Who is a white dude. Yeah, that was my first thing of like, oh, this is not great. All of the other characters are Middle Eastern. All the people who work for the Caliph are Middle Eastern. The Caliph, a white child. So they're there to be the food tasters. Shaggy looks weird because the art style is not great. Like, Shaggy looks the weirdest of everyone. I don't know what they did to his hair. But they get the job, they eat all the food, and the Caliph is upset, so they're gonna fire him. They run away, or they're gonna kill him. They're gonna kill Shaggy and Scooby because they ate all the food. And so they run away and they hide in the harem, and turns out the Caliph is going to pick a wife. Shaggy is in drag, and the Caliph, who has broken his glasses and thrown them away, pick Shaggy to be his wife. And Shaggy's like, well, let me tell you a story first. And he tells the story of Aladdin and the magic lamp. So imagine Aladdin, but Aladdin's a girl and Jasmine's a boy. All right,
Got
then.
it.
You know the story of Aladdin then. All right.
You missed one important thing.
Oh, the genie is Yogi Bear.
Yeah, you don't get Robin Williams in this film.
You don't get Robin Williams, you get Yogi Bear. I honestly though, this was
Who
such
is
an
Boo
Aladdin.
Boo?
Boo Boo's a genie in training.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
This was such an Aladdin ripoff where Yogi and Boo Boo are explaining that he can grant wishes and she doesn't get it, and they have her sit on a couch. I thought he was gonna break into song to explain how the genie works, and I was like, oh my god, are we getting a fucking musical number here that's just a ripoff of Friend Like Me? We didn't. There is not a musical number there, but I thought it was gonna happen. Basically, yeah, it's the prince has to get married, he doesn't want to get married. He was betrothed to a baby.
Who he fell in love with very quickly.
He was, like, when they say, oh, he has to get married, he was already betrothed to this one princess, but she's been kidnapped and we haven't seen her since. They show him as like 5 years old. This girl's in a crib.
And that's kind of what happened. We haven't gotten to Sleeping Beauty yet, but that's kind of what happened in Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, but Philip was not excited about that. He was like, ew, a baby.
He was very much like, ooh, a baby.
He had an appropriate reaction. This kid was like, yeah, my future wife is kind of hot as a baby.
Yeah, it was weird. It was very weird.
Uh-huh.
But then he sees Aladdin washing her clothes. He falls in love with her. She runs away. The Sultan is asking all the nobility women to come, and he'll pick a bride tomorrow. Haman, who's the evil Jafar in this one.
Who's also white.
Oh, by the way, Brian Cummings, who plays the Sultan, he is the only one of the white. So, by the way, there's no Middle Eastern voice actors. Come on now. Don't be absurd. This is the 90s? Why would they do that? But none of the white actors try to do a Middle Eastern accent, which I was appreciative of, except for Brian Cummings, voicing the Sultan. It was very bad. Stop. Why'd he do it? Anyway, the Haman wants to become Sultan, so he poisons the Sultan and the prince and puts them to sleep. And then he has Aladdin go to get the lamp, and she fails because she picks a flower that's made of coin, and so she's not allowed to leave. And then she gets the genie, and it's Yogi, and she wishes. What are her wishes? She wishes that she wants to save the Sultan. Stupid wish. And then she wants to make her.
He should have woken up right then and there.
Yeah, he should have. There was a wish granted, but whatever. And then she wants to make herself worthy of the prince. So she gets turned into a princess. None of this is funny. That's my next note that I just said to read. None of it's funny. Aladdin shows up. Haman is impersonating the prince, sees the lamp, takes the lamp from her. Now he has Yogi Bear as the genie. She gets thrown into the dungeon with the real prince. Haman's first wish is to become Sultan. And then when she's in prison, in the dungeon, she grabs a big rock and frees the prince from his chains. And then prays to God. There's just a weird prayer scene where the light of God shines upon Aladdin and the prince. What was that about? That was so bizarre.
I think it was to show that someone knew that God in the Middle East is called Allah.
Yeah, they do call him Allah, and I was like, all right, I guess that's true. I thought
that was the whole point
God.
of the scene.
I thought they were going to say God, and I was like, I'm going to lose my mind. But they do say Allah, but it was very awkward, because they never touch on that again. So then, Haman's second wish is to have supremacy over the entire universe, so he becomes like a giant. Imagine Galactus.
Destroyer of worlds.
What?
Destroyer of worlds.
Yeah, imagine, like, they do becoming the size of Galactus. And he's just, like, controlling the universe. And apparently that means doors grow big and people shrink, because Aladdin just jumps out of the prison. And then Haman wishes to live forever, but yikes, Aladdin has already stolen the lamp, and they win. Yay! She wishes to become she tries to she falls in love with the prince, and then the Sultan says, well, you guys can't get married because she's not of noble birth. And then the prince goes, I'm sorry, Aaliyah Din. And the Sultan goes, Aaliyah Din? That's the name of the princess that was kidnapped all those years ago. You are a princess. You can get married. And so that's the end. So we're back with Shaggy and Scooby. They try to leave, but the Caliph is awake. He still wants to get married. Shaggy goes, I can't get married in this. So they bring in the royal dressmaker. Scooby becomes the dressmaker's assistant. And then we're going to learn the story of Sinbad. This was also fucking terrible. Magilla Gorilla is Sinbad. They go after the rock egg. They get it. They go after some treasure. The treasure is in the river of pearls. What is it called? The stream of precious
Splash
gems.
Mountain.
Yeah, they go to the stream of precious gems, and guess what? It's a log flume ride. And they go on the ride and start grabbing jewels, and the pirate captain starts getting chased by all these mechanical animals. But they do end up stealing a bunch of jewels, and then they go after the golden toothbrush. They get there, and they steal it from a Cyclops who's a lawyer. You know what? The lawyer Cyclops was the only good character in the entire fucking movie.
Yeah.
They go to steal they go to see the golden toothbrush. It turns out the golden toothbrush is just this Cyclops' toothbrush. Magilla Gorilla knocks on his door, and the Cyclops goes, oh, are you here to sell Gorilla Scout cookies? That's great. And Magilla says, no, I'm here to see the toothbrush. And the guy goes, tourists. All right, it's in the bathroom. It's in this door. You can go see it. And Magilla is like taking forever in there because he's stolen the toothbrush and left. And the Cyclops is very impatient. Why is he impatient, Hannah?
I don't remember.
Oh, he's impatient because he has tickets to see Cats.
Oh, that's right.
And the tickets were hard to get. So
I blocked this off from my memory.
Yeah, he chases Magilla Gorilla, and then Magilla Gorilla finds the pirate captain. They run up a tree, and the Cyclops sits at the bottom of the tree and says, I have all the time in the world because I miss cats and I've brought a book. And then he gets pushed away by a geyser, and Magilla and the captain go back to the docks. Magilla Gorilla leaves, though. The pirate captain wants all the treasure, but Magilla Gorilla takes it with him as he leaves. And then the rock egg hatches, and the baby rock flies away. Then the fucking Cyclops shows up and steals his toothbrush back. This is all bad. And then that's when we go back to Shaggy and Scooby. The Caliph liked the story and says Shaggy is the perfect life companion. So they're going to start the wedding, but there's no cake. So the chef comes in, and he recognizes Shaggy and Scooby as the taste testers that were supposed to be executed. The Caliph says, well, you guys weren't really bad royal food testers because I didn't die from food poisoning. And I forgot I was hungry because the stories were so good. So you can live if you stay on as royal storytellers. And Shaggy and Scooby say they'll be royal storytellers and the food tasters. And the Caliph agrees. And I wanted to cry a little bit. This is what they've done to Scooby-Doo.
The one good thing at the end was the cake. I still want to eat that cake.
Yeah, the cake did look delicious. They had it looked good. But this was all terrible, Amanda. You made the right choice not watching it. It sucked. It was bad.
It was just as bad, if not worse, than I remembered.
I really hope that there is a lot of history behind the development of Zombie Island that I can find, because I want to know what inspired, who said we should bring back Scooby-Doo after this.
I think they wrote Terror Time again and said, we need a movie for this song.
Yeah, because they made the right choice, because I think, I never realized this, but now that we've done this series, Zombie Island saved Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
I thought we all knew that.
I didn't realize that. I didn't know this existed, Hannah, until we started this.
Yeah, Frankie.
I had never heard of it.
You weren't cursed to own this on VHS as a child?
No, I was not cursed to own this on VHS as a child. This was abysmal. This is one of the worst things I've ever watched. I told him, did I say this on the podcast? Yeah, I did. It's only above Song of the South for new movies that I've watched this year.
And you didn't believe me when I said there was a worse Scooby-Doo film than Scooby Goes Hollywood.
I didn't. And this has to be worse, right? Like, this has to be
Yes.
bottom of the list, right?
Yes,
Are
I
we
told
all
you it's
aligned
not even
there?
Scooby-Doo.
Frankie, I really hope that Song of the South, the only reason it's like below this movie is because of the racism.
No, it's also a really bad movie. Like, it's not a very good movie either.
Yeah, it's not great, but like, I hope that's what puts it over the edge.
It's horribly racist, and it is a shit movie in general. Like, it doesn't work as a movie to me. This also doesn't work as a movie to me. Less racist, so it goes a spot above. The racism is what pushes it over the edge as being a truly, like, one of the worst, like, probably the worst movie I've ever seen. But, like, I have some fucking clunkers at the bottom of my list this year. And I've seen, like, The Reluctant Dragon and Victory Through Air Power.
All
and
the ones that I had to watch for this stupid podcast.
My bottom 4 movies are all ones I've watched for this podcast. But yeah, this movie was abysmal. It sucked in every possible way.
I actually made it through Scooby Goes Hollywood, so I think this is below that.
Yeah, it has to be. It's last place. It's the worst thing we've watched.
By far.
For Scooby-Doo.
For Scooby-Doo, yeah. For Scooby-Doo.
It's worse than Scooby Goes Hollywood. It's worse than the Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo seasons that were just, like, shorts.
That was at least Scooby-Doo the whole way through.
And at least it was, like, quick. It got in and out real fast. This was an hour long.
It always felt much longer.
God, it felt longer. We were talking about how Wicked didn't feel like 3 hours. Fuck me, this felt like 3 hours and it was only an hour. It was just really bad. Really bad. That's why we talked about Wicked for most of this episode.
Yeah, this was a Wicked heavy episode.
It had to be.
I think we would have gone nuts.
I literally couldn't bring myself to talk about anything else or talk about it that much.
Wow, now Frankie sounds like he's the one with the concussion.
I'm just sad.
Well, cheer up, Frankie. The next Scooby-Doo we get to talk about is Johnny Bravo.
I am excited about that.
Amanda had a crush on Johnny Bravo when she was 2.
We don't need to talk about this.
Oh, did you? You had a little crush on Johnny Bravo.
Oh, she loved him. When she was between 2 and 3 years old, she just thought Johnny Bravo was the end-all be-all.
Well, we're going to talk a lot about the history and development of Johnny Bravo, because, like, we're only talking about next on our Scooby-Doo is just the Bravo Dooby-Doo episode. We're not talking about anything else.
I just want to point it out there. I felt bad for the man. As a 2-year-old, I felt bad. I was like, man, why all these women beat him up and pick on him? That's not nice of women to do. And then, as I got older, I understood what the fuck the misogynistic shit he was saying was, and I was like, oh, that sucks.
So we'll be talking about Bravo Dooby-Doo, if you're watching along with us.
But that'll be next month.
Next month, the Johnny Bravo episode, which is a crossover of Scooby-Doo, which will start our 3rd rankings list. Because, as we discussed before, we can't include Bravo Dooby-Doo, Johnny, like, in the Scooby-Doo rankings of the television shows. And we can't include it in the movies either. So the weird little one-off stuffs and the crossovers are going to be in their own ranking. So that's going to be the stuff like Johnny Bravo, Night of the Living Doo, the Scooby Natural episode, the fan thing that Hannah added to our list, the Mystery Incorporated fan film.
Those won't be for a while, though.
That one won't be for a while, or Scooby Natural. But, like, Bravo Dooby-Doo is next, and the Scooby-Doo Project and Night of the Living Doo are both pretty cool, coming up pretty fast.
Because we don't get any official films or TV shows till 97, 98, whenever Zombie Island came out.
Yeah, Zombie Island is right after Johnny Bravo.
Oh.
It's the next thing. And then it's Witch's Coast. Yeah. And then the Scooby-Doo Project.
Nice.
Night of the Living Doo is 2001, actually.
I thought there was a big gap. And we just had fan-made stuff or little one-offs for a while.
It is a big gap between 1994 and 1998. Because, like, Johnny Bravo is a Scooby-Doo appearance, but it doesn't really count as, like, a Scooby-Doo production. So like 4 years without any new Scooby-Doo stuff is a while for us when we've been looking at it since Scooby-Doo Where Are You came out in the 60s.
Right.
Was that right? Is that right? The 60s?
Yeah, Mom. I thought it was the 70s, but it could have been the 60s, and I just remember
It's 1969.
I
I'm
was
right
gonna
at the
say,
edge.
I thought it was 69 because it's a funny number.
I'm right at the edge. It's still the 60s. So it's been going strong with like new stuff seemingly every year, every other year until 1994 when this movie killed Scooby-Doo. By the way, it did kill Yogi Bear. I do want you to know that. Yogi Bear didn't appear in anything for a while after this came out. Which
no
is very...
Yogi Bear really wasn't as good as Scooby-Doo, ever.
I don't think it's as good, but I like Yogi Bear. What's up with you, boo-boo?
He's just a bear that likes picnic baskets.
Yeah, but he says it funny.
He picnic baskets all the time. That's the plot.
But he says it in a funny way.
Of every episode.
He
it's
says
him stealing picnic baskets.
But he's
And
smarter
every
than the
episode
average.
of Scooby-Doo is them solving a mystery.
Well, not every episode.
Most
but there's so much
every
more
episode.
variety to solving a mystery than stealing picnic baskets.
But you gotta say picnic like he does, and then you'll get it.
I'll try that later tonight. Thanks, Frankie.
Yeah. Then you'll realize the genius of Oh, by the way, I was wrong. Don Messick did not die of cancer. He died. He had a stroke.
Rest in
by the way,
peace to the legend.
Press everybody,
Yeah.
Frankie. Thanks.
I know. So this is the last movie to feature Yogi Bear. Yogi would not reappear until 1999, just like Scooby's movie, or a year after Scooby came back in 2 shorts. So he didn't get a movie. He just got 2 shorts in 1999 as his reappearance. So very sad for that this movie killed 2 things. But yes, next month we'll be doing Johnny Bravo, Scooby-Doo crossover, Bravo Dooby-Doo from 1997. But next week, Hannah, you're in charge. So what are we doing?
I am in charge. And we're going to go back to Cryptid Corner. And no, we're not talking about the Mongolian death worm, Amanda.
How'd you know?
Because you ask every
time.
Every time you ask me for this cryptid, the further he's going to get put on the list.
Oh, you gotta control yourself, Amanda.
Well, that's not fair because I love that cryptid so much.
You just gotta control yourself. What if I ask? Will that push it further? Is it just if Amanda asks?
I think just if Amanda asks, but if you start continuously asking me for a certain cryptid, I'm going to push them further down the list. And I have a cryptid next week that I'm not sure if you guys are going to know. So you're going to learn about a new little friend.
I'm excited. I like making friends. Well, that will be next week. We'll learn about a new cryptid. Let's take care of business and wrap this episode up. As of now, we are on YouTube and Spotify. If you are listening to us on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you are alerted when every new episode is uploaded. If you're listening to us on Spotify, remember to follow the show, leave a review and a rating, and answer the episode question. What did you think of the episode? Well, maybe it's changed because maybe someone's answered it, but as of recording, no one's answered it, so it's still going to be the same freaking question.
You can tell us what you think of this Scooby-Doo film, if you can even call it that.
Well, it technically is, but oh god, it sucks. No matter where you're listening to us, though, remember to share this show with your friends, with your enemies, with your pets, with your acquaintances. Share it with anyone who you think might like it. Even if they don't like it, share it with them. We don't care. We just want the listens. We enjoy doing it, so the more support we get, the more we can do this kind of stuff. If you would like to send us an email giving us your thoughts about the show,
and say how much you like peanut gallery.
No.
Telling us, giving us suggestions for episodes, or asking us any questions you would like us to answer, you can do so by sending us an email, which is at
Nothing to See Here podcast at gmail.com. As always, here is spelled Hear.
If you would like to see some great artwork done by Amanda, if you would like to see some funny memes done by Hannah, some images from the episode of things that we talked about, you can do so over on our Instagram page, which is,
Nothing to see here, pod.
and I think that's all the business taken care of. So thanks for listening to our Wicked Scooby-Doo episode.
Yeah.
Saying goodbye and good night. It's Frankie.
It's Hannah.
Don't watch this Scooby-Doo movie, but go watch Wicked.
Watch both.
Support your
Watch
local
this first.
Cynthia Erivo.
Watch the Scooby-Doo movie and then watch Wicked, and you'll have a greater appreciation for actual good filmmaking.
Yeah.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.